The fields are turning. Summer's green is fading now into gold and rust, and the wind carries that faint, sharp scent that only autumn knows. The hay bales lie scattered like soft sentinels across the land, quiet, waiting, as if listening for the first of the big storms that will soon roll in from the north. There is stillness before the change, that pause the countryside always takes when the air begins to cool and the light starts to tilt. It feels like the world is holding its breath. And in that breath, I begin to ride through soft hills and long fields toward a palace where the past still hums beneath the grass. There is a strange kind of peace in riding through these fields. Early light stretches across long shadows, and every blade of grass seems to whisper of time, of what has been and what still lingers unseen. Today, I make my way toward Fetternear Castle, or what remains of it, a place of bishops and nobles, of fire and silence, where legends sleep beneath ivy and stone. Fetternear, sometimes called Fetternear Palace or the House of Fetternear, lies above the marshes burn, where it meets the River Don, just across from Kemney in Aberdeenshire. For centuries, this was a sacred and powerful ground. In the Middle Ages, the bishops of Aberdeen kept residences and across their vast diocese, and Fetternear was one of their retreats. A place to rest, to rule, to oversee the quiet workings of faith and land. The name Fetternear, fair, near in older form, is thought to mean western wood or the forest to the west. Even the name feels soft on the tongue, as though shaped by wind and moss. After the Scottish Reformation in the 1500s, the Church's power faded, and the land of the Fetternear passed into secular hands. By the late 16th century, they belonged to the Leslies of Balquhain, a noble family whose ancestral fortress, Balquhain Castle, still stands just a few miles away. If Balquhain was their fortress, then Fetternear became their home of refinement, a gentler seat surrounded by fields rather than battlements. The Leslies rebuilt and expanded it, and for generations it stood as their residence. But tragedy struck on a winter's day, December 5th, 1919, when a fire broke out in a back storeroom. A sharp northern wind fanned the flames, and within hours the great house was lost. The family and servants escaped, but the palace itself was never rebuilt. Now, nature slowly gathers it back. Walls lean, ivy climbs, lichen softens stone. What was once a bishop's retreat and a noble home has become a whisper among trees. Yet, standing here, I feel a different kind of sadness. All around the ruins, there are signs: keep out, no entry, private, do not cross. They seem to shout against the silence, as though guarding not just the stones, but the stories themselves. Fetternear, once a palace of welcome, of bishops hosting travelers, of noble families opening their doors, now stands fenced off and wrapped in barbed wire. You can't even go near enough to trace a hand along the old wall, or listen for echoes where voices once filled the halls. It feels strange, almost unkind, that a building with such a deep past should be left like this, unvisited, untended, hidden behind warnings. I understand the need of safety for protection, but I wish there was a gentler way, a way that honored its history without silencing it. because this place deserves to be known, to be remembered, not feared or forgotten. Local stories suggest that Sir William Wallace may once have hidden here, perhaps in what old accounts called the Wallace Tower. No proof survives, but in these lands, myth and memory often walk together. Among the ruins lie traces of old chapel dedicated to Saint Ninian, Scotland's earliest missionary saint. A quiet reminder that this ground was always holy to someone. And though few ghost stories cling to Fetternear, people still speak of it with a kind of hush, as if the air itself remembers. In old Aberdeenshire belief, ruins and ancient stones often carry a presence, and disturbing them could steer misfortune. Whether you believe such things or not, it's easy to feel that Fetternear breathes with memory. Fetternear is more than story and stone. It's a layered memory of faith, ambition, fire, and resilience. As I cycle these quiet fields, I feel the tension between what stands and what has fallen. To walk among the fragments is to stand inside time itself, the air thick with what once was and what refuses to fade. In every broken doorway, I imagine the lives that moved through it, bishops in long robes, noble women by the heart, servants fetching water from the burn. The silence here is not empty, it hums. Leaving Fetternear behind, I carry that silence with me. The path leads down toward Kemney, and to my final stop, a bridge once called Shakin Briggie, though it no longer shakes. The bridge crosses the River Don, a simple white footbridge now, but once it trembled under every step. In the old days, it was a light suspension bridge, linking paths between estates, swaying with the movement of those who crossed. Children laughed at its wobble, farmers cursed it on windy days. Over time, its wooden decking was strengthened, its color turned pale, and the trembling stopped. Locals still remember it by the old name, the Shakin Briggie, though it stands steady now, the river sliding quietly below. Standing here, I think about all the places I've passed. The Bishop's Palace, the Leslie's Pride, the Bridge of Trembling and Calm. Each tells a piece of the same story, how everything changes, yet somehow endures. How fire can destroy, rivers can shift, and buildings can fall. And still, something remains. In the wind across the bridge, I hear the echo of what connects us. Through centuries, through stones, through silence. And as I cycle on, I carry that quiet weight with me. The soft pulse of Scotland's past, still breathing beneath the fields.